Morning. Morning, guys. I'm just kind of waiting for folks to kind of join us here before we get started. Welcome, Akshat. Welcome, Axe. Welcome, Paula. Buenos dias. All right. Hopefully, you guys can see my chart, hear me okay. Just kind of waiting to see if we can get, critical mass here before we start. Even though this is recorded and will be replayed, just want to give everybody an opportunity to join us here. Hopefully everyone had a good weekend. Hopefully had a good break and fresh eyes and fresh focus for the session ahead. Awesome. Awesome, X. Yeah, I did have a good vacation. Thanks for asking, X. Got to spend some time with my son, who's down in SoCal or near SoCal. Uh, and yeah, it's good time. Morning, Shark. All right, just want to get to double digits here. We get started, guys. Hey, Tron. Welcome, Mike. All right, we got double digits. Excellent. All right. Let me go ahead and start with our obligatory risk disclosure here, guys. All right, so I'll let you read it. I'll kind of paraphrase what it says here, but basically, basically what we're saying is that futures trading is risky, and that we shouldn't be. My views here are purely educational. I'm not here as an investment advisor to buy, sell any instrument, or recommend, endorse, or sponsor any security, company, or fund. The testimonials that appear on my YouTube channel are not necessarily representative of the testimonials, not representative of future success. Use of the information is to be used at your own risk, and the company, representative agents, employees, contractors assume no responsibility or liability for any use or misuse of this information. As you all know, futures trading contains substantial risk and is not for every investor. Investors could potentially lose all or more of the investment capital. Only risk capital should be used for trading. With sufficient risk capital should consider trading. Nothing contained herein is a solicitation to offer, buy, sell futures, options, or forex. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results here. Okay. So now that we got that out of the way, we can go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and open up my news here. Just going to double check, make sure that is not carrying through. So I'm going to go have to start the stream here again. Stop and share my. All right. So double checking, making sure that you guys see what I see. I think you do. All right. So let's go ahead and look at the economic calendar for today, guys. And go ahead and filter this just for U.S. news. And I'm just going to focus in on three-star events here and go ahead and apply. And it does not appear we have any events scheduled today, which is awesome. Okay. So we should expect normal, kind of behavior in the markets. Okay. We do have an FOMC meeting minutes this coming Wednesday, which definitely could move markets, but we don't have to worry about any sort of news. Now, when you have meeting things like FOMC kind of coming up, that could also dull the market a little bit. okay, as we get closer. So that's something to keep in mind. But as far as news today, we don't have anything on the docket. So that's good news. Okay. Let's see where we stand. Okay, perfect. All right, so let's go ahead and start to review the markets here, guys. Double check again that you guys are still stuck on my. All right. Hopefully you guys see that. Can I get a confirmation that you guys see my gold chart? All right, perfect. Okay. All right. So we'll start with our normal kind of multi time frame review here, guys. We're going to go ahead. Well, actually, we're going to go ahead and start a quick look at the weekly and the day, and before we get into the daily. So I like to start the week with kind of a fresh set of eyes, give me a fresh set of context on the market. Now, I'm going to start with gold here, and as you can see here, we've been on a very strong move to the upside. Pretty vertical move here in gold. And we're basically making new highs. Okay, so if you look to the left here, there's really nothing here that's gonna. It's even we've exceeded this level here. Okay, so we're at new territory in the gold market in a quite a bullish move here on the weekly. Okay, looking at the daily, probably shouldn't be too much of a surprise if we see the same thing. Okay, we have a series of bullish candles. We had a kind of a consolidation area here around 2300, 2310, only to be followed by another bullish candle. Now we have a little bit of a indecisive candle here at the moment to start start the day. I guess the day officially started yesterday, but a little bit of an indecision here. Okay, we have wicks on both ends of the candle, and I suspect as we move down further into the chart, we'll see kind of ranging price action here. Okay, I guess as they decide where to take the market next. Okay, so looking at the 4 hour. All right, now we start to see some of the horizontal action that I've been speaking of. We are developing a little bit of a bearish engulfing candle here as we speak, but that's still an hour or so away from completing here, right? An hour and 10 minutes or so from actually coming to completion. All right. We have a developing bearish engulfing in an otherwise bullish move. Okay. Looking at the 30-minute, this is where we're going to do a little bit more of our analysis here. Okay. Overnight was pretty much flat, although we are currently kind of responding off of average daily range. We've got have exceeded past settlement price and VWAP, okay, which kind of indicates that we may come down and revisit this price down here at ADR exhaustion here to the bottom side. Okay, we also have some demand zone. What was supportive and was resisted is now supportive. Okay, so we have another area here, a confluence supply zone. Or a resistance zone that was here now has been broken and now potentially has become a demand zone. Okay, we see a rejection candle here coming off of that level, including a rejection off of ADR. So this level is ripe, I would say, right now for us to come back and revisit. Let's go ahead and open up the fixed range volume profile. So we're going to go ahead and start with the let's see, the 830 bar, Eastern bar. Okay, we'll drag that across to the 430 bar, and we are inside value. Okay, inside value from Friday, and we are, as I mentioned, we have exceeded settlement price. We've exceeded value area high. We've exceeded point of control. The question is this going to propel us through the entire range of value? Now, if you were to speak to Dalton, I suspect that he would say that we have a, I don't know, 80% chance of price traversing through the entire range of value. Okay, so where's my little arrow here? Yeah, so we're here now, right? So This is the top end of value. All right. So we have, according to Dalton and his books on Mind Over Markets, we have an 80% chance of price traversing through the entire range. Now, I see that we had a little bit of a support, what was resisted here, and we broke. So this area here actually could serve as a little bit of a demand zone. What was resisted become supportive. So we kind of have this kind of in our way from that taking place here. Okay. So if I'm a seller, well, I'm at a level now. We're coming off of AR through settlement price, through the bottom end of below VWAP. We have, I guess I would say, this area to contend with, which is right around point of control. What was resistant will now become potentially supportive. So this could cause the market to head back higher. Okay. So that's an area of support. Obviously, ADR zone here to the bottom is also an area of support. And we also have the demand zone below here as supportive. Okay. So those are kind of the three areas that I see. Three more, I guess, two areas on the bullish side. Okay. Three areas that we've kind of already worked off of on the bearish side. So we'll let's see, go ahead and actually did not. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and manually draw my initial balance here. So this here, we'll go ahead and change that to a blue and make that a dashed line. All right, so that's the bottom end of the initial balance range. We have the top end of initial balance here. Okay, so this will need to get adjusted because initial balance is the first hour of trade potentially. So we have one additional bar that we need to kind of work through. Okay, so as I feared, we do have some price action that indicates that maybe this area will indeed be supportive. Okay. And so we'll have to wait and see how this candle closes. If this candle manages to close bullish, then we may have an opportunity here where we have a trade here where it's maybe stop below here for an opportunity back up to the ADR zone. But we'll have to wait and see here. Don't want to preempt it. We don't want to take a stab at it without at least one 15-minute bar here confirming that we are indeed bullish. Okay, so we have on the 15-minute bar, we have a developing bullish candle, but we're about 12 minutes away from that candle completing. Okay, so we want to wait for that to happen. Okay, wait for that to happen, and then we potentially decide on whether we want to participate in a bullish opportunity to the upside. Okay, all right, let's go ahead and check the stream here to see if there's anything here that anybody has any questions. All right, I don't see any questions. All right, so we'll go ahead and move on to the crude oil market. So we're going to go ahead and do this and move to this. Again, we'll open this up. We'll start with the weekly chart. Okay. All right. So similar to gold, but not quite as I guess we're not in sort of a new territory, so to speak, but we are equally bullish in the crude oil market. Okay. We are but also bullish in the market. We are coming into a zone where we could expect to see some sellers, okay, in the market. It's not to say that it can't not get through this area. It's something to be cognizant of on the weekly chart. Okay, if I were already in a trade, I was bullish. Well, I would like to see a new high. Right, this is a weekly chart, so it's going to take some time here for that to take place. But the sentiment remains on the bullish side. Okay, so we are up against some weekly supplies here that could also serve as some resistance and could cause the market to reverse here a bit. We have a developing, kind of similar to I think what we were seeing in the gold, kind of developing kind of lack of body candle. All right, wicks more on the buy side than they are on the sell side, so which indicates there's still some momentum to the upside to this move. Okay, so weekly bullish, daily I would suspect that is going to tell us the same thing. Okay, we have a demand area here down at 80, right, 80, around the 80 level. I know that we're quite a ways away from it, but should price come back to this level, there's obviously an expectation that price will potentially bounce off of this level. Okay, again, we are very much in a bullish move, developing a kind of high wave candle with some buying wicks. I would say the buying wicks are probably a little bit stronger than the selling wicks, but wicks nonetheless on both ends of the candles. Okay, so looking at the 4-hour, okay, 4-hour created a little bit of a gap here. Now you're starting to see some of these initial balance candles that I'm pulling off of an indicator called initial balance. Okay, so we have this is the initial balance range for Friday. The market for crude oil has yet to open, so we don't have the initial balance range established quite yet for crude oil. Okay, but you can see that how the this particular indicator is locating the initial balance range is for the past few days. Okay, all right, so we have a developing bullish engulfing against an area of prior support. All right, we don't have, this is not particularly impressive, to be honest, this doji looking candle, but we are above VWAP. All right, so again, another indication that price can continue to head higher. We are reversing off of ADR exhaustion to the downside. So again, another kind of feather in our cap with respect to the bulls. So let's take a look at the 30-minute chart. 30-minute chart, again, above VWAP, up against what was resistant, now supportive. So we're kind of stuck in this range between 86.40 and what is this level here? 86.40 and 86. Okay, so we're kind of in, let me see if I can represent this some way for you guys. Right, we have this area right here ranging, right now we're ranging between these two areas of demand and supply. Let's go ahead and lighten this up here a little bit if I can. Lighter shade of green here. Okay, well, in any case here, as you can see, we have a set of opening candles. We have a supply zone above, a demand zone below, and it's kind of bouncing between these two levels. Okay, would like to either see it, cross below this demand and close for a move further lower, or the opposite, seeing price close above this supply zone. But we are kind of in the middle of this swing here. Okay, so the middle of the middles. So really not showing me any indication of what direction it wants to go. It's kind of hovering in this range. Okay, so let's go ahead and open up the volume profile, see what that what that tells us. So go ahead and locate the 8:30, not 8:30, but the 9 o'clock bar from Friday Eastern time. Let's go back here. Right there, drag this across to the, all right, so we are below value. Okay, we are below value, so indicating the bears are a bit in control of this current market. Okay, we are filling this gap this gap that was generated at the open. So this could spell for some price action, continued price action to the downside. Okay, so we could definitely head lower. All right. Now, in order for that to happen, obviously, I'd like to see price get below VWAP. All right. If I'm of the opinion that this price could head lower, I would also like to see it break below 80. What is that? 86, 89. Yeah. 86, 89, 86, 90. All right. For again, as kind of a confirmation that maybe this move will indeed take place. Okay. Hovering around, the more we hang around here without making a new high, the greater chance that of that taking place. Okay. So if I'm a bull, I'm not really happy that we're consolidating here. Okay. If I'm a bear, well, I'm just waiting for the move, potentially this move lower to happen. Okay. So that's kind of what I'm seeing here, this as far as this range goes. Now, if as far as price levels, well, we have an ADR zone up here. That also is a settlement price above us at I want to say around 86.92. All right, I overlooked to not include this before, so let me do that now. So we have what is this? We have ADR high here at 86.92. Okay, ADR high at 86.92. We have ADR low at, let's call it 85.30. 85.30. Okay, we have settlement price pretty much at the same level here as what was this? We'll call it 86.91 settlement price. 86.91. Okay, so these are kind of my levels that I'll be looking at. Right now, I'm just going to wait and see how this plays out. We have yet to the market has yet to open here, so we'll just have to sit on our hands and wait for that to happen. If I'm a bull, well, we have VWAP, right? If I'm interested in a bullish trade, then we have VWAP here, and it could be supportive. It's sloping higher. Okay, so this could be an area. We have ADR, which I mentioned at 85.30, that could also be supportive. And then we have a couple of demand zones below us that could also be supportive. Okay, if I'm a seller, well, I'm at a supply zone right now. The question is, can I get a break of these levels that kind of give me confirmation that these areas are going to be supportive, right? The problem is with a short, I'm coming up on a VWAP right away. So I'm kind of more inclined to see if it can break below VWAP and hold below VWAP before I entertain in the short. Okay, ideally, I'd like to be up at these levels, ADR high at 86.92 or settlement price for my location for a sell. This area right here is not giving me necessarily enough room for that to take place. Okay. On the bullish side, however, you can certainly come in at this level, look for a move back, and you have a little bit of a runway for that to take place. Not so much so on the bearish side. A lot of congestion here to the left that could cause price to reverse. Okay. Let's see if there's anything else I want to say about. I'll come after I complete the equities. We'll come back to gold to make sure that we capture the ADR high, ADR low, and ADR settlement price. For gold, we'll first take a look at the equities. Okay, it's good to pop in here, see if there's any questions. Do you remove settlement once price touches or breaks through it? Trader, I would say that becomes kind of what was resistant becomes supportive. Okay, so if it breaks above and holds, then I use it as kind of a a supportive area. Okay. Where did the demand zones develop? Yeah, so let's see. So this is something that actually is kind of auto-generated, something that I've been kind of experimenting with. But these levels are generated from past levels, right? What was once resistance? You see this kind of change. I know this color is a little bit on the light side, guys, but these demand levels are being generated by the fact that once we cross, let's say, for example, this area right here, you see that we had a congestion area here. Okay. Price crossed above it. Okay. We had price cross and close above it. Well, what was resistant now becomes supportive. So the levels came from this break of this resistance area here. Okay. Yeah, it's based on an indicator that I added. So it's let's see, the name of it is Bjorn. Let's see here. I forgot. Bjorn. right here. Don't know how to pronounce this. Bjorgum key levels. Okay, this is something that was alerted to me, and I've been kind of experimenting with it. And so far, it does a reasonably good job of locating, what was was resistant becomes supportive, or what was supportive becomes resistant, that sort of thing. But it's the Bjorgum key levels. Okay, is the indicator that I'm using off of. Notice the number of I guess folks that are using it, over close to 16,000 people. So that speaks to the interest level here. Okay. So here you see the initial balance. This is another tool that's also something that was brought to my attention. Notice how this initial balance range is now being automatically generated. Okay. And that's initial. Let's see, which one is this? I'm going to go here and type initial balance. I believe it's this one here by CZCA, initial balance and extension custom session time. Okay, this one right here is what's generating these lines in this initial balance range. So again, notice how these ranges are being established as this 30-minute candle. Now you can customize this indicator to just establish just a 30-minute candle. I have it set to capture the high and low of the first hour candle. All right. So now we have an IB high of 86.54, an IB low of 86.10. Okay. But there's yet another candle here that needs to be established. All right. So let's take a look. See. Okay. All right. So I think that's all I have for crude oil. We're going to go ahead and move into the markets, the equities. We're seeing some price action kind of breaking above this supply zone, which could offer us an opportunity to the upside. But we'll need to wait for that candle to close here above at least a 15-minute candle for me to kind of be interested. Okay. All right. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and open up the equities here. So let's see. I'm going to go to NASDAQ. All right, we have ES and NASDAQ. All right, side by side. We'll start with the NASDAQ. All right, so again, we're going to go ahead and start with the weekly chart. Weekly chart. We change this to weekly. All right, so here we are. Again, a lot of overlapping candles here, guys. We are beginning. Let's go ahead and remove some of these drawings here. So we have a bunch of overlapping candles. We have currently developing to start the week I guess you can call it bullish. It's an inside candle inside the range here, ever so slightly bullish. Okay, still very much developing. In an otherwise, I guess you could still technically say that we are on the up move. I would say that we're probably more range bound in the NASDAQ. All right. We do have some news maybe that's causing us to be range bound here coming up the mini minutes that we're going to have here on Wednesday. But still kind of technically, as I kind of look at this, if it's not bullish, it's ranging, right? So, if I draw this kind of parallel channel here, technically we are, in this kind of bullish range. I guess it depends on how you want to look at it. If you look at it from this vantage point or this vantage point, I think they both give you the same picture. Maybe slightly a break here below, right, could indicate that maybe we had prices had lower here. Okay. It appears to be developing a little bit of a demand area here. I see that there's some price action that might indicate that, it's not letting price go below that. All right. So there might be a little bit of a demand zone that's being developed here at 18,305 or 300, somewhere in that range. Okay. A little bit of a demand area, but would like to see it, to be more of an engulfing candle here, I guess, in order for me to kind of say that. But it does appear that it is developing a little bit of a demand zone around 18,300. All right. Looking at the daily. All right. Looking at the daily, we are at what appears to be developing a double bottom. Okay. We have this is the first bottom. This is the second bottom. And now it's kind of coming off of it. So look, it appears that we are developing some structure that potentially could take market higher. Okay. This is kind of what I'm seeing using these weekly levels as support here. All right, maybe back into the channel and on to higher prices. Okay. So yeah, this is, I guess, concluded was the candle from Friday that was relatively strong, and then we have a kind of doji-like candle that's developing above this demand zone, which is supportive. So kind of I guess would more be a more bullish sentiment, I would say, right now, given these two candles, given that this candle is not inside and is above the close from Friday. Okay. All right. So let's take a look at the 4-hour chart. Okay. So for our chart, I see that looks like we didn't quite come down to, I'm going to go ahead and remove this level. I don't think this really gives us a whole lot of insight. So we are coming off of ADR here. We didn't even make it down to ADR. Okay. Before we started to reverse away from it, we have a developing 4-hour bullish, engulfing candle that is encompassing 1, 2, 3 candles here. All right. If this does remain in this kind of look, then I would say that we have a reasonable chance to get back up to ADR high, maybe back to the bottom end of this channel that we formed back on the weekly chart. Okay. So let's take a look at the 30-minute chart. So 30-minute chart. Okay. Similar kind of view. We have a series of bullish candles that have been developed off of VWAP. Okay. We have this, I guess, what was kind of a supply zone here. So I'm going to go ahead and actually draw that in. So I'm going to draw this as supply here. I'm going to color that in as a shade of red. Okay. So we're coming into a supply zone on the 30-minute chart. Question is this going to be resistant? Well, the past says it has. It's kind of rejected once. Now coming back to retest it again. Is this going to be resistant again? Well, if it is, then we basically have an area here where price could reverse back down. Okay. So for bulls, well, we want to see that it break above this level. Okay. At 18,407.50, right? So that can open up this area here. That could also provide an area for us to potentially reverse the market or fade the market, right? So if price continues, that would be an area where we could sell, right? Or a reference level for selling. And then over here, this is ADR exhaustion. So we'll go ahead and type these areas in before I forget. So we'll go ADR high at, what is it? 18,480, 18,480. And then ADR low at 225, we'll call it 18,225. We have settlement price at 18,375. Okay. So those are kind of my levels that I'm seeing in the market right now. I would say that probably I'm more bullish than bearish on the 30-minute chart. We're kind of at the edge or just below the edges of the channel that we did on the higher time frame. Let's take a peek here and see if there's any questions. What is my initial balance? So is the range box at the top? Yeah, this area in red, I'm classifying as a supply zone. My initial balance setting. Well, basically, Ali, I basically, there's not really a setting. I guess maybe you're kind of referencing the initial balance indicator, but I basically told it only to give me, and this is probably more a topic for a different time, since this is more mainly kind of to capture kind of a review of the markets. But I'll put together maybe a short video on the channel for you guys to review some of the newer indicators that I'm starting to incorporate on my charts, and then we could talk through there a little bit about some of the settings. But basically, I've kind of customized it just to give me the initial balance range for the session that I'm interested in, specifically the New York session. Okay. This range box here in red is a supply zone that I'm drawing manually based on activity that I'm seeing, right? A price action, and the fact that price is rejecting away from it, that causes me to draw this as a supply zone. Okay. The area up here, the bricker, I guess the darker brownish looking color here above is the ADR zone, right? ADR exhaustion, average daily range. Okay. Exhaustion zone, which is at 18,480. Again, another reference level that could offer us an opportunity to reverse, the market, take trades opposing the general direction up. Okay. Let's see. Are you going to give afternoon class here or Top Step Discord? Yeah, my classes are going to be in Top Step Discord today. Am I going to draw? Yes, I am. Yes, I am going to draw the value area. I was just kind of peeking and seeing if I can see some questions here, but I overlooked to draw my value range here. So let's locate the. All right, so right here, all the way over to the 430 bar. Here we are. We're inside value, guys. So inside value means there's really no one in control. Okay. Right. So we're inside range, inside value, right? Well, inside kind of temporary price balance here. Okay. So we'd have to see us get above, I guess in this case, value area high, and maybe even above some of these areas that we have identified as supply before we can maybe potentially think about looking to go long the market. Value area high in the supply zone could offers us an opportunity to kind of fade the market to the opposing side. All right. But right now we're kind of in the middle of the range. So we're not really giving us any indication of where it wants. It may just want to hang out in this area until FOMC, which would be sad. But that's could very well be the case here. Now we're about 18 minutes or so away from the open of the market. So I think a lot can change from now and then, right? But we are what appears to be in range based on what we're seeing on volume profile. Okay. Yeah, we did. Yeah, we definitely bounced off of VWAP. We are coming into an area where I could expect some resistance. Okay. I see selling here. Do I want to step into a club of sellers? I don't know about you. I'm not really that interested in participating in a long when I know that I'm headed into a bar of sellers. Okay. I'd like it to kind of break out that range, show me that it can get out of this range, can get out of this area of congestion or area where I see sellers before I participate. But that's a personal choice that we all need to make and establish our risk parameters for some of these trades. Yeah, value area low would be a good supportive area. ADR zone down here would also be a good supportive area. Value area high, probably more along the line of, bearish, right? Opportunities. ADR exhaustion to the upside, also bearish opportunity. Okay. All right. So let's take a look at the ES because I do want to get through these markets before the market it does open. Okay, so we have a couple of markets that we need to get through here. So let's take a look at the ES. Okay, this was settlement from Friday. Let's go ahead and change that. Actually, these ranges are from Friday, so let's go ahead and change that first. So ADR exhaustion to the upside. I'm going to call it 52.8850. 52.8850 as ADR high. ADR low is, let's call this, what is this? 52.3825. 52.3825. Okay, settlement is at 51.97, 51.90, no, 52.53, 52.53. Okay. All right. So these are kind of the levels that I'd be looking at. Not going to go through much of the multi-time frame analysis because I suspect that we're probably in a I guess similar sentiment with Nasdaq. Okay, so but I will draw my volume profile, and I'm going to locate the 630 bar from Friday, or actually 930 bar from Friday, over to the 430 bar, and again, similar to Nasdaq, we're in range here. Okay. Again, similar kind of view here, although I don't have that other indicator here. We do see a little bit of a supply area above. So guys, I'm looking at this and it looks like almost like an exact replica of Nasdaq here. Okay. So we are in an area of supply that could provide us an opportunity for reversal. But it doesn't have to. Okay. This move can continue moving higher all the way up to ADR. This is an area that it needs to cross, obviously, in order for that sentiment to continue higher. Okay. It's just something to be aware of, that this area could offer some resistance to any sort of upside move. All right. If I'm a buyer, I would much prefer buying down by settlement price or VWAP, or even down to ADR zone low. We talked about 15.38.25. Okay. Those are probably some areas that would be of more interest if I can better manage my risk. Buying up here, I feel like I'm kind of top of the market buying, right? I would like to see maybe a pullback down to, let's call it 52.55, 75, something like that. That would be kind of a reasonable area if I want to participate in a long. Okay. Down to VWAP or settlement price. These are a few areas. If my view of the market is that it's going to continue higher, and obviously ADR, and then selling. Well, I'm at a level now. ADR to the upside also offers that level. I have value area high here at let's say 52.66, 52.66.50, or 52.67.50. That could also another area for maybe a bearish move to the downside. Okay, let's see. What's value area low? We did bounce off value area low on NQ. Okay. Value. Okay. All right. Let's see. Anything else I should be calling out here? The settlement price is 52.53. 52.53 is settlement. 52.53. Okay. All right. So let's take a look at the last market, guys. Last market of the day, and that's YM, the Dow. All right. So let's see. We'll go ahead, and again, maybe just might take a peek here. I'm going to move this over here so you guys can make it more visible. Let's say right about there. So these are all settlement and ADR highs from Friday. We're going to give you guys fresh zones to take a look at, but kind of similar kind of thing that I've seen. I'm just going to take a peek at the daily here just to kind of refresh myself a little bit. So yeah, we are. All these ADR zones are these settlement and ADR prices, so you can ignore these for now. But yeah, we're coming into a supportive area on the daily. Okay, we have already established a bullish candle, followed by another candle that has yet to even come to sniff too much into this zone here. Okay, so we are at a supportive area in the Dow. That could lead to higher pricing. Okay. Right. So let's take a look at the, I'm not just going to go jump into the 30-minute chart, guys, because I think the 4-hour chart is going to tell us more of the same. Okay. So here we are. I'm going to go ahead and specify my ADR zones. So ADR high, is 39,489. 39,489. 39,489. ADR low. Is, let's see, 39,671. No, that can't be right. 39,074. 39,074. And then let's see. And then let's move this over here to the left a little bit. And let's open this up. And then settlement is 39,482. 39 settle is 39,482. Okay, so these are kind of important levels that we want to keep in mind. We're going to head and open up the fixed range volume profile, but I suspect that it's going to tell us the same kind of thing that we've been seeing on the other instruments. But let's go ahead and locate the 930 bar, drag that to the 430 bar. Here we are, inside value. Also, I would say that we have a little bit of a supply area above us here. Okay, probably not quite as close to the supply area as maybe some of the other markets that we saw in both ES and NASDAQ. But it is coming into some areas of potential resistance. Now, what we have in favor of the longs is that we're off of a daily support level. We are above settlement price and we are above VWAP, which speaks to potential higher prices. But this area could indeed provide some resistance. So you definitely need to be aware of that. If I'm a buyer, I would probably be a little bit more inclined. Not that we may or may not reach this level, but down ADR low at 39,074, or maybe down a retest of VWAP at what is that? 39,230. Is that 230? Yeah, 230. Or settlement price here that we've already mentioned, 39,223. Okay, that would be more of an area that I would want to participate in on the long. Okay. I see on the left that this area right here, this seller seems to be stepping in here potentially. Okay. Keeping the market from heading higher here. All right. Let's see if there's anything else that I want to call out here. We're about 7 minutes from the open, so we'll have to wait and see what the open provides us. Let's see. There's no other questions. So I'm going to take one last peek of gold, guys, because I failed to include the ADR, and let's move this down here so we make it visible. Okay, so we have that area there. I'm going to go back to gold here just to capture that same information. Okay, ADR high, ADR low, and settlement. So, okay, so did we capture it? 86.92. Let's see. Looks like we may have already. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, it looks like we may have. We have settlement at 86.91. We have ADR low at 82.30. Yeah, so I think we're all set. I think we captured it for all the markets. Okay. We've already kind of, made a move back up to settlement price. All right. So potentially kind of keen on this level right here, right? If it does retrace back to this top of this box at 86.47, well, that'd be kind of a logical location to participate in a potential move higher. Okay. Now that we've had this conviction bar to the upside. So that's kind of an area that I'm going to be kind of focusing on in the gold market. But yeah, with that, I think that's pretty much all I have for today. Just gonna double check. Out of the 5 you talked about, what is your first choice bias based on your pre-market? My first market is always CL, Shark Trends. GC second, and then the equities third. From today, though, I would say that gold is probably a market I want to pay particular attention to. I'm gonna take a quick peek at crude oil, although the market has not opened yet. Yeah, crude oil might be another market. Oh, did I not? I captured the wrong market. Okay, let's do this again, guys. Apologize. I captured I thought I was in the gold market, but let's capture the ADR zones. Apologize for that, guys. Let me capture the ADR settlement price for gold. Okay, so we have ADR high here at let's call it 2361. 2361. ADR low at 2326. 2326. And settlement price is 2349.3, I guess. 2349.3. Okay. All right. Yeah, I would be remiss if I didn't capture that for you guys. That's what I meant to do the last time. So let's take a look and see if there's any remaining questions. Akshat, I'll share that in the other channel. Let's see. Oh, yeah, that was CL, correct. But now I have GC, so we should be good there. Frizu. All right, we have our ADR low and settlement price captured now. Okay, I think that's it, guys. So, yeah, don't be afraid to like or subscribe or both. Okay, as you exit the doors. De nada, Paula. Que tengas buen día. That's Spanish for have a great day. For those Spanish speaking or non-Spanish speaking people. Okay. All right, guys. Well, I think that's it for me. Markets. I think Mondays you want to kind of take it slow, kind of digest the market a little bit. Mondays often start off a little bit on the slow side, so you want to, do just that. Start slow, wait for your levels, be patient, wait for your confirmation, and trade well and trade safe. Okay. Excellent. All right, White. Thank you for the like. All right, excellent, guys. Well, that's it for me. We'll be back in this channel tomorrow morning. Until then, trade well, trade safe, and be a market trader. All right, talk to you guys soon.